Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Kraken Packs video. I am your host, MrBevers. That's right, we're back again with another Ravnica Allegiances pre-release kit. This time we're doing Simic. It's time to adapt. Well, as you've probably seen, we've sort of adapted with most of these. Maybe not played Simic, but we've definitely adapted. We ended up playing Orzhov with our Rakdos deck, and then we played Rakdos with our Gruul deck, and so, you know, it's all about what you open in your pool, right? So, there's our nice Simic die with the Simic logo on it. The die is very, like, not green and blue. So, like, I feel like they could have made the die, like, they could have made the lettering blue. And, I mean, it wouldn't have stood out as well as it does with the white. But then they could have at least speckled the die with blue instead of speckling it with kind of like this kind of grayish white color. So like the deck is very, like the die is very green and white, which yells out to me Selesnya, not Simic. So I think they've missed the mark a little bit on these, unfortunately, but hey, what can you do? So, oh, look at that. Our token that has a code on the back of it is a Domri emblem. So how about that? That's pretty cool, isn't it? I gotta find here my box, put this in. For those of you who are watching and have watched the previous ones, you'll know that we're gonna be handing those codes out live on Twitch once we have the remaining ones. So make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, there's our box off to the side. We've got 5 packs, and then we've got our sealed pack with our promo. So let's put our promo over here for the moment, and let's get right into these packs. Right? Let's build our pool. We'll put the die off to the side so that we can use the most amount of space possible here. Get our cards all laid out. Let's see here. Maybe we can just kind of like put that there. Okay, we got blue and we got white and we got red and we got green and we got black. All right, and we've got blue-green, and we got red, and we got black. So we're looking at Simic, and right now we've opened 2 pretty sweet Simic cards, which is nice to see early on, right? And our first rare is a Precognitive Perception, which is not necessarily something I'm super excited about seeing for like a rare in limited, but like it's still on color, so there's that. But we did get a foil rare. We got a foil Mirror March, so we ended up with an extra rare out of this kit, which is pretty nice. And we got a Azoria's Guildgate and a Goblin token. Let's see, what do we find here? White, red, blue, black, green, green, white. Good old Gateway Sneak. Oh, wow. Benthic Biomancer. 2 on-color rares we've got so far. And another Orzhov Guildgate. I'm just going to put the Guildgates off to the side a little bit here. And then we'll bring them back into the shot once we've sorted out all our other piles. Sounds fair, I think, right? We've got our first Gruul card there. Get to the point. It's a very good card. And our rare here's an Amplifier. So right now it's looking like, you know, from our rares, I mean, we're playing Izzet, which is not one of the guilds in this set. There is no fixing for Izzet. There's no fixing for Izzet in this set, except for, like, you know, the Gateway Plaza and all that kind of stuff. Okay, see, there's the Gateway Plaza. Frilled Mystic, very nice. Collision and Colossus, and a Domri. Alright, well, maybe we're playing some sort of, like, maybe we end up playing like a teamer. We might play a teamer deck. Who knows? We don't have any fixing for teamer yet. We have, what, 3 Orzhov Guild Gates? Is that what I've seen so far? That's kind of unfortunate. We would have liked to get some, maybe some Gruul. Some Gruul Guild Gates would be nice. For what it looks like we're doing. We'll see. We have some very good Gruul cards, too. There's our first Orzhov card. Or Azorius card, I should say. Sharkdo Crab 2, though. We've got some good stuff. Verity Circle. I don't know how I feel. There's a Gruul Guild Gate. That's pretty nice. What's our promo card? A Growth Chamber Guardian. Alright. Well, we didn't hit another one of those, so he's just a 4/4 for 5. But that's still okay. A Simic Locket. We got an Incubation and Incongruity. Yeah, I mean, like, I think we're playing Simic for sure. It's just a matter of, are we splashing the red, right? We could be. Oop, that's the wrong pile. Let's look at our fixing. So we've got a Simic Guildgate, a Gruul Guildgate, a Gateway Plaza, and then, yeah, we ended up with 3 Orzhov Guildgates, which is not really what we want to be in, to be honest. And I mean, even our Orzhov was like not super amazing anyway. Like we had some pretty good we have some pretty good black removal spells, but our white seems pretty weak from what I remember seeing. Let's see what we've got here. Like, this is okay, this is kind of mediocre, this is mediocre, this is okay, this is mediocre, this is okay, this is okay. Like, the white is not super strong. So I don't think we're playing white. I'm just going to take the white right out. The Orzhov Knight is a fine splash card. I should say the Azorius Knight. Dear, why am I keep doing that? Butchering the name. So then, excuse me, my goodness. Vizkopa Vampire is also a fine splash, and so is Grasping Thrall. So like if we were playing white, like these are splashable cards. The Final Payment is hard to splash because it's 2. It's kind of a rough one, so I think we're just gonna put it off to the side. Let's look at our black. I don't think we have, like, Plague Rite is fine, Dead Revels is good, Clear the Stage is good, Catacomb Crocodile is like not amazing, Debtor's Transport is fine, Thirsting Shade is fine, Ill-Gotten Inheritance is very good, and we wouldn't want to play a second Plague Rite. So like our black is like mediocre at best as well. So like I think we're just gonna take these 2 out. And we're just going to put that all over there because we're not playing those colors. So let's look here because we're not going to splash this as well. So like we could play the Footlight Fiend because it only costs a red, but we're not going to play the Get to the Point or the Macabre Mockery. So let's look at what we have in Teamer, because Teamer is where we want to be looking. So we've got a Simic Locket, a Gruul Locket. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. We've got Sphinx and Simic. Okay, so we don't need any of these ones. So put them off to the side. So these are possible artifacts that we could run if we wanted to. The Sphinx is fine. It's not amazing. It is still a 5/5 flyer, so there is that. Let's build Simic first, and then we'll check our red to see if there's something we want to splash, right? And I don't think, like, the Orzhov or the Azorius Knight is very good, but we may not want to splash it. We do have the one Azorius Guildgate plus the Gateway Plaza, so we could technically splash it because it's only 1 card for white, but I think we'll just stick with looking at what we've got here first. Clear the Mind's not super playable, in my opinion. We can put these over here for now. Even though you don't have the white for this, just the 1/4 is still fine. It gets in the way of a lot of things. Petitioners is not very good for what we're doing. I don't think we're playing 2 Swirling Vortex Torrents. Gateway Sneak is, I'm not like super excited about it, but it is fine. Our blue is pretty good. Our blue is not terrible, that's for sure. So we've got Growth Spiral, which is very good. We've got Aeromunculus. We've got this incubation thing. We've got Sharkdo Crab, very good. Frilled, very good. Pyromancy, very good. Galloping Lizrog, very good. And a second Aeromunculus, also very good. Spider is good. Sauroform is good. Steeple Creeper is good. Enraged Ceratok is good. Tower Defense, no. Axebane Beast, no. Root Snare, no. Second Sauroform Hybrid, yes. Second Mammoth Spider, probably not. Root Snare, no. Open the Gates is actually probably okay for our deck. Yeah, so I think that's, like, the rest of our green is, like, not super exciting. We've got 2 Root Snares, 2 Axebane Beasts, a Tower Defense, and a Mammoth Spider. These are in the sideboard. If we come up against a deck that has, like, a whole bunch of flyers, maybe we bring in the other Mammoth Spider, but I don't think we want to bring it in at the moment. Because then we also still have the Growth Chamber, which is nice. And then we've got the Benthic Biomancer, or Benthic Biomancer. So then we also have Verity Circle, which I don't think this card is good for us. Like, this card seems okay. I just don't know if I want to be using... Like, in Limited, this card seems interesting because you can get rid of their blockers, and you get to draw cards. Because you tap their creature down. If they're not attacking, when you tap it, you draw a card. That's how this works, right? But you got to pay 5 mana. So it's pay 5 mana to draw a card and remove one of their blockers. It's not necessarily bad. Not necessarily bad. I'm not sure how I feel about it. The Precognitive Perception, I think, is just too much mana, and it doesn't impact the board enough for us to worry about it. Like, we have the Shimmer of Possibilities for early on and the Growth Spiral for early on card draw. I don't think we want to go with the Precognitive Perception. The Foil Mirror March would be fun to play, like, just as a splash. Amplifier, I don't think, is a thing that we want. And the Domri, like, he's fine. I don't think we want to play him in this pool. Because I think our Simic pool is strong enough that we don't need to add our red. Because our red really would be like Daggercaster is good, Flames of the Raiseboar is good, Burning Tree is good, Scorchmark is fine, Feral, no, a second Burning Tree is fine, Spike Wheel Acrobat is good, Phoenix, Frenzied Arnix is fine, Savage Smash is good, Collision and Colossus is good, and Rubble, yeah, like, so our red-green is very good, but I don't think it's better than our blue-green. Because, like, that being said, like, we still have to cut cards, right? Like, if I put these over here, because we don't have enough Riot in green. We don't have enough Riot in green to warrant going green-red. That's the thing, right? If we had a few more, like, green creatures that were Riot, like the 5-drop 4/4, or, like, even the Beasts at 7, right, that Riot and come in and smash, like, that would be okay. But we don't have those, so... Right, or if we had, like, the red 2-drop that pumps for 4, we would look more heavily at playing the Gruul deck. But I think this is probably fine. It looks pretty decent. We obviously have to cut some cards. The only problem we really have is that we don't have any way to remove tokens off of our guys. So we can't add tokens or remove tokens from Sharktooth Crab to trigger him again. Well, that's not true. We have the Galloping Lizrog, which will allow us to take the tokens off. And if you look at, like, what we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 creatures that adapt before Galloping Lizrog comes out. Well, that's not true, I guess, because the Seraform hybrids take 6 to adapt. But, like, you could, if you have the 6th mana to adapt this over playing the Galloping Lizrog, you probably adapt this and then wait, and then the next turn you take the tokens off. Right? So, like, I mean, if we look at what we take out of this, we take out the Humongulus, we don't care about him, right? Because we have to cut cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So we're going to take out 1 Swirling Torrent and 1 Humongulus, right? I think that's fair. I think we want to run the rest of our spells because we don't really have a lot of things to do to control. It would have been nice to have some counter spells, right, in blue, right? It would have been nice to have a quench or a thought seize, or not thought seize, but like thought, whatever that card is, the double blue one that mills them. That would have been nice to have, but what can you do? I think all of our 2-drops are perfectly fine in this deck. Like Fairy Duelist is good, Sage Rose Savant is good, and then 2 Sour Farm Hybrids and 1 Growth Chamber Guardian is very good. I think we're taking out probably the Gateway Sneak and the Courier. Courier is good if we come up against like a flying deck, but at the same time, like we have 2 Aeromunculus and we have the Steeple Creeper. So like, you know, Verity Circle's actually looking quite a bit better for us because we do have what, 1, 2, possibly 3, 4 flyers. And this taps guys that aren't flying. Well, I guess it's not better. Like you want to be trundling in on the ground and tapping down the non-flying guys. So that's fair. We also have the Sphinx that we could put in. That's a big flyer for the top end, right? If we wanted to. But let's take a look at this and cut down first and see. So we've cut out 4 cards, right? And I can't remember what count we were at. You guys are going to remember because you've heard me say it now. But I'm going to have to recount. So 3, 7, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we only got to cut 1 more card to put 17 lands in. Excuse me. So only 17 lands we need to put in, and let's see. Our biggest drop is a 5-drop, technically a 6-drop for Swirling Torrents, and then our biggest adapt is 6 mana. So like maybe we only run 16 lands, and we just say that this is a good 24, and we just keep it as it is. I think that's possible. We have draw card essentially off the top 4, draw card. This draws cards. It's good control as well. This draws us a card. So yeah, I mean, like, this seems fine. This lets us technically like draw a card, kind of. A creature off the top, basically. Yeah, I think this is fine. Maybe we need to run the Sphinx, or maybe we want to try and build like a Gruul deck. Because I mean, like, the Mirror March is cool, right? Like the Mirror March card is just pretty sweet. The problem that like I said we had is like we just don't really have the sweet riot creatures to like go in the deck, right? Daggercaster is very good too, but you know how it goes. But yeah, so I think that's it. I think that's the pool I would play with this deck. It seems pretty good. I feel a little bit bad for not playing Domri and the foil Mirror March in the deck. And I mean, if we really need the card draw, we can bring in the precognitive perception if we wanted to. I don't think it's something that we necessarily care about in this type of format, but it's possible that we want to bring it in. I think we would rather be playing one of these creatures on 5 or a Swirling Torrent on 6 than precognitive perception. Now, that being said, precognitive perception will help us get essentially a bunch of our lands off the top of our library and put them on the bottom if we don't need them on turn 5, because we know we're not trying to build to anything bigger than 6, right? Like, the Sora Farm Hybrids adapt for 6 is the biggest thing that we have to sink our mana into, right? Verity Circle is good. Like, if we get 10 mana, then we can tap 2 things, which is nice. But at the same time, like, we're going to end up drawing our mana off Verity Circle anyway from just tapping their creatures down. If that's all we're doing with our 5 mana, right? So, yeah, I mean, I think this is pretty good. I think this is what we stick with. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a little build of a Simic pre-release kit. We have 1 pre-release kit left for next week. It is the Azorius, and hopefully I don't call it Orzhov like every time while we're building that and opening it up. But so there you go. Not a bad little pull of rares and stuff. Like, we hit an additional foil rare out of the box, and we hit a Domri, which is pretty nice. So, hey, can't complain about that. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. As always, I do have a Patreon. If you want to help support the channel with a monetary value, I would greatly appreciate it. If you can't, don't even worry about it. Thanks for just being here and watching. I really appreciate it. And as always, may your pulls ever be better.